The beginning of the week, we thought we'd be getting ready for Gardner-Webb after playing our first game against Columbus State. Now we're getting ready for Florida A&M in what is our first game, as everybody knows. So here we are. And what we've done the last couple of days to prepare is, once this became clear on Wednesday, we decided to practice. And I was really, really proud of the way these guys handled it, because they were disappointed. I was disappointed. There's a lot of emotions that go into it, when you're ready to play. And literally, I was on my way out the door after our walkthrough and meetings while the guys were eating their pregame meal. And I was on my way out the door to go home and change when we found out that we weren't going to have a game. So it changed everything, but our guys adjusted, which was a great lesson, again, of the flexibility that you have to have inside of this every time, no matter what. And we came back and had a heck of a practice. I mean, just a tremendous practice. And it took a few minutes, but we were all in the same boat. We wanted to play, and we took our aggressiveness out on one another and scrimmaging and in getting a lot of possessions. And it was beneficial for us. Thursday, we had Thanksgiving. We came back Thursday night to shoot and to study film of where we can get better, and to study film of Florida A&M. And then yesterday we came in and had a normal day. We lifted as well on Thursday night after everybody had a chance to enjoy Thanksgiving. And then Friday we had our lift and we had our practice. We had our film session, and we'll get ready to practice here in a few minutes. But we're in the process of getting things done to play again this week. That has been our hope the entire time, to get things nailed down, to continue to make sure we get scheduled every possible game that we can inside of the rules. And so we should have more on that. Mike, that's not out yet, is it?
No, sir.
We're working on that. We're working on that. But that is our hope, is that we're going to play by Wednesday. And so that we would have a game Sunday at 2, Wednesday, and then Friday against Jacksonville. But I say all that, and it's a roll of the dice every time. So you know that, I know that, and we just got to get used to it. I never thought I'd see a tweet from a major program like Notre Dame and Mike Bray last night asking for a game on December 4th and 5th, saying that they would travel safely. And he said, give us a call and let's hoop. So, it's just a whole new world. But all you have to do is wake up every morning and see how it changes. I mean, look at football. This football situation's already today and last night. So we just got to deal with it the best that we can. And this builds a resilience. It builds a maturity. It builds a flexibility. And somewhere down the line, the student athletes that are involved in all of this, no matter what their sport, no matter male, female, it doesn't make a difference. The way they handle this inside of this part of the time in their life in this world is going to really help them down the road. And the more that we can handle it on the fly with maturity, the better it's going to be for us now, and hopefully for them as they navigate things in their life in their future. So go ahead.
Hey, Coach, good to see you today. Have you ever, I don't know if you feel this way or not, but have you ever gone into an opener with all that's been going on, having absolutely no idea what to expect from our first game again? Y'all have no exhibitions, nothing at all? Have you ever been in a situation like this where you had no idea what was going to happen?
No, not at all. I mean, not at all. Not at all. We've never, in all my years of being an assistant coach or a head coach, first time ever started the season without a scrimmage or an exhibition was back when I was an assistant at Mount Pleasant High School and an assistant at Alma College. So even being a graduate assistant at Michigan State and on up, you always had exhibitions, and then the scrimmages came into play. So you always had an idea. You always had the live dress rehearsals, and we don't have that. And now Florida A&M playing this game, the advantage they have is that they played a game. And so they've gotten that out of their system. They played the game at Florida Gulf Coast the other night. And as I said to our team, their advantage is they've played. Our advantage is they haven't seen us play. But the bottom line is that we've got to make sure that we understand we've got to control what we can control, because they're going to come in with a level of confidence, because all those first game jitters are gone for them. And I don't think you can underestimate that no matter who you're playing. Mm-hmm. But we don't have that. So we've just got to deal with it the best that we can tomorrow.
Let me ask just a real quick follow-up. Obviously, there's been some games that have been played, since last Wednesday. Has anything kind of jumped out at you about some of these early ball games across the country? Again, there's been no warm-ups or anything.
Uh, yes, the teams that executed and really moved the ball and got out and played did well and didn't commit a lot of turnovers. The teams that were connected defensively, the teams that came out and tried to live on pull-up jump shots, tried to live on my turn shots, gambled defensively, weren't aware on baseline out of bounds, weren't aware on free throw rebounding. Those are the ones that struggled. And so I haven't seen a lot of games, but I have seen some. And I've actually tried to spend some time watching some offense, defense of some teams that I wanted to see. I definitely turned on Samford the other night from when they scored like 174, 179 points, whatever it was. I wanted to see, how do you start? I didn't get a chance to watch the whole game yet, but I got a chance to see him score 14 points in the first, I think, 2.5 minutes. So I wanted to get a feel for that. But I think it's the teams that execute, play together, don't try to make it about themselves. Don't try to live on their own shots, that really are committed to passing the ball, have played better. And the teams that haven't have struggled.
Thank you.
Sure.
Coach Green, this is Chip. Just curious on A&M. I don't know anything about them, so I mean, are they radically different than whatever you'd have been preparing for GW or any of your other opponents?
Well, to a degree. They went into Iowa State last year and beat them, and so Robert McCullum is a heck of a coach. We've known each other for decades, but we coached against each other in Conference USA. He was the head coach at South Florida, and I was the head coach at Marquette. He was actually Conference Coach of the Year. One year we had some battles with him. I've always had a lot of respect for him. And then we went to the Big East. But he can coach. I mean, they are going to try to set the pace, whether it's with their press back to a zone, whether it's with their pressure. What I thought they did a great job of the other night in their Florida Gulf Coast game was capitalizing on Gulf Coast turnovers. And we can't give them a steady diet of that. We can't do that at all because I think they're very, very athletic. They were missing a couple of players that we are preparing for, a really good junior college shooter, and then their big man from a year ago. But Randolph comes back and is a second team all preseason guy. Reeves is a senior point guard. I think he's the motor of their team. Spears came in and shot the ball and was very, very aggressive as a freshman. They put size and length on the floor that are very, very comfortable shooting jump shots on the perimeter. So we've got to come out and we've got to be physically aggressive. We can't turn the ball over. We've got to do a really good job of everything we can do to eliminate second shots and giving them fast break baskets off our turnovers the best that we can. And then we've got to attack their pressure because I do expect that we're going to see some three-quarter court pressure back to man or zone. So we've got to be able to handle that and be on the attack. And really, like anything else, it's about getting our comfort level, getting our bearings sometime inside the game, being quick, but not in a hurry, as John Wooden would say. We want to play fast, but we don't want to rush. And I think that's going to be really important as we settle into a pace in the game.
Thank you.
Sure.
Let's go to Allison Mastrangelo and then on to Ryan Curley.
Hey, Coach. I was more so curious, when you talk about not having preseason games going in and now your games are being pushed back, will you have any kind of minutes restriction on the guys? Like just trying to treat this more like a preseason game?
No, I don't think we're at that place. So you can't. I mean, it's regular season now. So would I like to adjust? Absolutely. Would I like to play a lot of people? Absolutely. But you just got to go into the game and take what the game is giving you. And so that's the most important thing. And there is no ramp up. We haven't played in front of any fans. I mean, the last time we played a home game and played in front of any fans was the Florida game here. So, I mean, we're going to have to figure it out. I mean, we're just going to have to figure it out as we go and a lot of communication inside of the game and guys being ready to play. As I always like to use the term, play on demand. We're going to have to get used to the bench situation. We're going to have to get used to the masks and the bench situation, all those different things. We just got to get used to it. And hopefully we don't have stage fright too bad. And we just come out and we settle in.
Hey, Coach Ryan Curley here. So, the game gets canceled Wednesday, the game changes Sunday, and you guys practice Wednesday. How are the young guys in particular and the new guys handling all the changes before the season's even started? You go from a game to practicing instead, and now you have to deal with a new opponent and new scouting. How is everyone handling it?
I think they're handling it well. I mean, and then remember, we've got 8 new guys, but we only had 1 upperclassman coming back in the sense of Ty Fagan. So we're extremely young and new all the way across the board. Even though we have 3 grad seniors, they're new guys. But I think what these guys are figuring out, and I think they saw it the other day, we're all in this together. I said, no matter how disappointed or angry you are, you triple it with me. And I said, but we're going to get this done right because that's what we need to do. And we have to take advantage. Just because the game got canceled, we can't get out of our rhythm of having a game mindset. And I thought it was really, really important with how they came. And I credit the coaching staff, but I really credit the players because the disappointment early, they looked around and they couldn't find – if somebody was disappointed, they were struggling with finding somebody to commiserate with. And I think that's really, really important with a team because when you're down about something, you're always looking for somebody to join forces with, right? And as a coach, you're trying to eliminate that. You don't want that, right? You want guys to understand, hey, this is what we've got to do to get better. This is the resilience that we've got to grow. This is part of the adversity that's inside of this season. It's a new day for us every day. And none of us have any idea what the definition of that is. None of us have any idea what that holds. So we have to be able to adjust on the fly every day. And I think they're buying into that. I really do. And I think that's exactly what happened the other night. Is it easy? No, I'm 54 years of age. It's not easy for me. But I think the other thing we keep in plenty of perspective, and I know I have no trouble saying it to this team, and I'm not trying to scare them as much as I'm trying to remind them, there is a lot of crazy things going on in this world right now. All right, Wednesday was still a day. There were over 183,000 positive tests. There were 2,000 deaths in the United States, was the most since July, I believe, 28th. And I'm not trying to be morbid. I'm trying to be real. And the bottom line is we have an opportunity every day to come in here, take our tests, get ourselves better, do everything we can do on the outside to stay safe. But any opportunity that we get to compete, to play against each other, to play against another team, we've got to take advantage of it because there's a lot of people in this world right now that are suffering greatly. And A, we've got to understand how fortunate we are, but B, if we can bring any joy to those people, all right, along the way that are dealing with it in their own lives, because we are literally, all right, I try to live my life on. God made every one of us the same. And in this situation, with where we sit in this world, every one of us is equal in the sense of any one of us can get this at any point in time. And I know the science may say differently on age groups or this age group is more susceptible, but that's not how we're living. And we're living in a way right now that we've got to understand that we're very, very privileged and fortunate to get these opportunities. So I don't want to see a lot of long faces, when practice gets tough or when something gets canceled. I want to see guys that are very thankful for the opportunities that they have in front of them.
We'll go next to Tori Heck and then to Jed May.
Hey, Coach. Sorry, you mentioned this privilege to be playing today. What do you talk about that a lot with the players, and what is their kind of view on that when you kind of talk about this privilege and that you guys are lucky to even be able to be getting these tests and get on the court together?
Well, I talk about a lot of stuff, but I mean, it all comes back to the commitment that you've got to have, the togetherness that you've got to have, the flexibility and adjustability that you have to have as you build your maturity. And we're all maturing, no matter what our age is, coach, player, whatever it is, before each other's very eyes. But I do think it's very, very important. And it would be important with any team, all right, at any point in time in any year, to not ever let a woe is me or we didn't get to do this, we didn't get to do that to permeate their lives or the program. Well, now you can quadruple it. You can probably more right now with everything that's going on in this world. And it's very, very important that they understand we're all part of the same thing, all right? And we're not privileged because we get to take tests to play college basketball. We're not that much extra safe because we get to take those tests to play college basketball. We're privileged because every day we have an opportunity to do something that we love with a great medical team and a lot of people around them and a staff that's trying to do everything to keep them safe with a staff and families that love them, that want to see them be safe. And there is no room for anyone to talk about and think about and worry about what they're not getting or what they don't have in terms of where we sit in this world right now. So I don't try to be morbid. I don't try to be negative. I try to be realistic and maturity in this world. I mean, every minute that they are here or away from the building, they have got to have a level of awareness. We have X's down on our court that are 6 feet apart all across the court, just to make sure that we are staying spaced throughout practice. You know, when guys are on the side, we have the connects on units. We're trying to do everything that we can possibly do. But at the end of the day, their level of awareness and their level of commitment to that awareness is what's going to drive it. And certainly we tell stories of what's going on in the country. We tell stories of what's going on with other teams, but they're not living in a bubble, so to speak. I mean, they know, right? Maybe it's a little bit of a bubble because there's not as many people here right now, but they go to the mall, they go out to eat, they go uptown. It's all different. And so the bottom line is, the bottom